This is EMS Live. Welcome back, paramedics, from Newfoundland to British Columbia, from Maine to California, from North America to Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Welcome to EMS Live, the voice of paramedics around the world. EMS personnel no longer separated by thousands of miles. Now, EMS personnel from all over North America and the world are together. EMSLive.com. Now, John Bignell and Derek DeSaulnier, EMS Live.
As Johnny Gage on the 70s smash hit Emergency, Randy Mantooth unwittingly influenced the future of EMS in the United States. Will USAR-1 have a similar effect on urban search and rescue? I guess we'll all have to watch. Coming on, and we have upcoming
Randy Mantooth, the guy we've been waiting for, the guy from Emergency, that's going to come up next. Join us for Randy Mantooth after this momentary break.
The lives of
And we're back with EMS Live. I'm Derek DeSaulnier with
John Bignell.
We are very excited to have our next guest. He is an actor, a director, a writer, and producer, I believe.
And now he's on EMS Live.
Sure is.
Did you watch Emergency?
I sure did.
Excellent.
Yes.
I think everyone did. On the firefighter.com forum, I didn't get to all the forums, but I think it was something like 57% started their career based on watching that TV show.
Well, with 30 million viewers per week, I believe, it was extremely influential. And we welcome Randy Mantooth now to EMS Live.
Welcome to the show, Randy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
How do you wrap your head around the fact that Emergency had such a profound influence on the EMS profession in the 1970s?
Well, I have to say that sometimes it is very difficult to wrap my head around that. Like I've always said, when we were doing the show, we didn't know that. We didn't know we were having the impact that we were having on the emergency medicine America's psyche. We were just mainly kids complaining mostly about how early we had to get up and go to work. And but once the show, I think it dawned on both Kevin and I once the show wrapped, when we realized that when we first started the show, there were only 8 paramedics in California, and they weren't even certified to do what they were trained to do. And then by the time the show ended 7 years later, most of America was between 4 and 7 minutes away from emergency medicine in the field. And I think it began to dawn on us, we were kind of involved in a very important show.
Modern medical TV shows have been around for quite a while, but when you look at the advancements in healthcare professional, what made this one so special? What was so different?
Well, I think it was the fact that it was so brand new. The concept of paramedics just didn't exist before that. I remember when I first started the show, they told me I was going to be playing Johnny Gage, firefighter paramedic. The first thing I asked was, what was a paramedic? Because I had certainly never heard of it before. And in fact, I even said, is that like a doctor who parachutes onto people?
And, I think a lot of people ask that question.
And, well, to tell you the truth, we weren't that far off. We did kind of drop in on a lot of helicopters every now and then, but I think it was that concept, the fact that it didn't exist before. And I think what was also very instrumental in capturing the imagination of America at the time was the fact that Bob Senator, the creator and the executive producer of the show, wanted to make it as realistic as he could possibly make it, given the time we shot it in the 1970s, and NBC was not used to having a show quite that real. Their scripted shows tended to delve more into the drama. And Bob said the drama will follow. All we have to do is be as realistic as possible. And in fact, his mantra was, if it didn't happen, we don't do it. If the Los Angeles County Fire Department doesn't do it, we don't do it. If the Los Angeles County Fire Department doesn't use it, we won't use it. And as a result, it gave it a bit of a realistic taste to the show that previously had really not existed before.
Randy, we've got a number of people in our chat room who are just itching to ask you questions. I think I'll start with the training you received. They want to know a little bit about the training you received for the show.
Well, we had to take the paramedic course. Now, mind you, we didn't take the written course, and we were just actors. That we kept telling them, we're just actors. Why do we have to take this course? And Bob, in his wisdom, said, I don't want you learning all this stuff in front of the camera. I want you to know as much as you possibly can before the cameras roll. So when you start to do an IV, I want it to look real. When you use the paddles, I want that to look as real as possible. And so we sort of took the physical course. Actually started an IV on a real brave soul who actually let me come within 5 feet of him with a needle. But we were actually taking the courses and learning a whole another language. It might as well have been Russian to me. But after a while, you get pretty comfortable with the language. You get pretty comfortable with handling a lot of the medical instruments, and then of course through the 7 years of the show, you really did become very familiar with not only the paramedic instruments that we were using, but being a firefighter too. We were actually we were the first people ever to use the Jaws of Life on television. In fact, I've never held anything so heavy in my life. I remember the first time I used it, I jammed it into the back of a door of a big semi truck, and it slipped off the lip and literally sent me flying. I didn't even realize it had knocked me down until I was just sitting there with this 80-pound piece of machinery laying in my lap, saying, "What happened?" So we got to be on the cutting edge of using a lot of equipment that was brand new then, which is pretty old hat now.
But that's what made the show so special, the cutting edge aspect.
Yeah, and at the time, when they were first introducing a lot of this stuff, we were seeing it actually before a lot of a good majority of the fire departments all over the United States had never even seen it, heard of it, and here we were blessed with all this cutting edge technology, and of course the people who made this stuff knew that they had a national audience, and so they quickly provided it. And of course, Bob said, "Does Los Angeles County Fire Department use this?" And they said, "Well, no, they don't." And they said, "Well, until they use it, we can't use it." And so all of a sudden, Los Angeles County Fire Department found themselves
getting lots of new equipment.
With a lot of donated equipment, and then we would actually be able to use it on the show at that point.
A question coming from our World Without Borders chat room. Ambulance Al is asking, was your character based on James O'Page, late James O'Page?
No, he was. Well, somebody said that the name, and I had just heard this a couple of years ago, that the name was my name was picked. At first, it was going to be James O'Page.